Hi, this is Cousin Russ. I want to complete what I started earlier today, and that is work on my data error report that I demonstrated earlier today. Now, what I have done since then is identified all of the data error report. I want to have the right screen going here. Um, that is the uh, um, recording of office hours for RootsTech 2022. If you're watching, I would appreciate just let me know where you're watching from. Just put that in the comments, and so I know who's watching, and let me know if you were part of RootsTech 2022, and if you're a user of the Family Tree Maker program. That will help me. And please know that as I go through what I'm going to demonstrate, I will be happy to take your questions. Uh, if you're watching the recording, you can also leave comments and I will get a notification that you have done so and I will respond as appropriate. So let me get going here. Got the right screen going. This is the plan workspace, and this is all of 26 data error reports entries that I had in the database. Now, I have actually resolved some of them, but when I did, I thought I would demonstrate here what I do when I do resolve them, because this is pretty important. So here's one that says this individual's children's sort order may not be, may be incorrect. In other words, if I go to this person and I look at the tree view, I look at the children, and before I resolve this, uh, the the two children were not in the correct birth order. I fixed that by clicking on this icon that says sort children by birth order. So that's how I resolved it. But my next step is to go back to the person view, and looks like I've already done it, which I have. I selected the data error report entry fact and resolved it. So this is what it's going to look like at the end, because I already did this one, and I will look at the wife because the wife should have had the same data error report, and she did. So I already completed that. Let's go to the next one to see if I completed all of my tasks that I do with this report. See that somebody just joined the live stream. If you would let me know where you're watching from, I would appreciate it. Just put it in the comments uh, so I know where you're watching from. So I am cleaning up from my data error report that I ran earlier. So I'm going to go to this profile and I'm going to go to the tree view, and I see that the children are in the correct birth orders. So I sorted them so they were in the correct birth order. But see, here's the data error report. This is the piece that I want to show. Because I believe that I have resolved this data error report, I can get rid of that fact. I have two ways to do it. I could right click and delete, and I can go to the spouse and I should see the same data error report, which I do, but I'm going to delete this fact a different way. And that's by using the red X. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to double check that I, in fact, did resolve that data error report. So let me do a couple more here. I'm going to go through this real quick and probably not spend a lot of time talking about it. I'm going to look to make sure that the children are in the correct birth order, and they are. So I am going to get rid of that fact. Notice that on the task list, I marked it resolved, reordered the children, and made it from a medium category to a low priority. And let me go to the next one. And I already got rid of that because it was a spouse. And I'm going to go to the next one. And I need to get rid of that fact. And I have done it for that person. Plan workspace. This is what I am demonstrating now is what I do all the time. And I run the data error report frequently because I want to keep my database in order. And let me do this last one, and I've already taken care of it. So I have resolved all of these all the data error report that I can do quickly. I've just resolved them, or so I think. So let me go back to the publish workspace. This is and I clicked on the person reports, data error report, and create a report. Now what I'm going to do this time, because I believe that I have cleaned them all, I'm going to get rid of the filter and run the data error report for all individuals. So this is all the data error reports that I have, and I have 2 pages of them, but I believe that I've already identified most of them. So I'm going to select the individuals and who to include. I'm going to get rid of all of the entries that I have excluded or filtered out. So now I'm going to run it for everybody. And that's the 2 pages because I cleared the filter, but I need to do another filter. So I'm going to click all individuals, and I'm going to filter out all facts, data error report exists. So all facts, data error report, any data exists. So what this is going to do is going to filter out everybody who I have identified who have a data error report. And I went from 210 for everybody. So there's some people with data error report entries. I click apply. So what this just showed me is that I still have a couple more to identify. And that could have been because the profile that I had cleaned for the children being not sorted correctly were in fact had an alternate factor. They had 2 entries in the data error report, and that's okay. So what I want to do now is identify those 2. I want to put this information on, again, enter this new data into the fact. Sorry, I'm stumbling here because I've got, I need to get another screen going here, and let me get Notepad up, because if you watch the earlier report, that what I have is a notepad entry that has all of the data error report, the information for the fact or for the entry in the items to include, and I have the text for the error message. So this first one, and I think the third one, says the individual was married before the age of 13. So I'm going to go down here and wherever it is. This is disadvantage, but when I did it the first time, I just walked right down the data errors. So what I'm doing now is a little bit slower, but that's all right. I still need to resolve these. I see that there's a couple. Oh, it's interesting. I may not have. I thought I had this data error, but it looks like I don't. Individual, that's birth, marriage. Here we go. Was married before the age of 13. So there is the potential error, and there will be two of them. Oh, there'll be two errors, these two. So I'm going to hit Control C to get that text. I'm going to open up the name. I'm going to add type D to bring up data error report. And now I need to put a citation. This I didn't do before. I created a citation earlier today. This time I'm going to select use an existing citation. And I know where it is. It's down here. And there is the citation. I'm going to link to that citation. And I'm going to put that citation onto my clipboard in Family Tree Maker. So that takes care of this one. And this one has the same condition, same data error report. So I click D. And if you would just let me know where you're watching from, I would appreciate it. Okay, so I've created a data error report fact. I pasted the text. I'm going to paste the link to the citation and click OK. So I want to make sure that I've cleared the that I've identified those data error reports. So I'm going to go to individuals to include, and this time I want to filter out anybody who's got data error report description, and I'm pasting that description in here and click apply. And I did in fact I have identified those two errors. Now I have another error to take care of. So I bring up my notepad. Event departure contains no data. Event contains no data. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to double click on the name, and I'm going to add data error report. And clicking paste to citation. Now I'm going to refresh the filter by clicking on individuals to include, and that what happened is it automatically got rid of that last person. So I have identified everybody who's got a data error entry. I'm not going to fix it now unless it's simple. So I want to go look at what I need to do now is go to the people workspace, tree view, and I need to create a filter because I need to put that data error information into my to-do list. And I demonstrated that earlier, but I'm going to do it again. Now, this time, I'm going to filter in all facts, data error report, description, and I'm going to put that event contains no data. And there is the one person. I go there, applied the filter, the person, view, and there is that fact. I'm going to add a new task with that entry, select data error report. I'm going through this fast, and I understand that, but I'm doing it because earlier today I gave the details and did it much slower. So now if I go to the plan workspace, that there is that entry that I just made. And what I need to do now is to go get that other entry that says the birth date occurred before. That's not what it was. It was the individual was married before the age of 13, which was what the error message had. And I think I got the right person. Nope, it's not the right one. I usually make notes. Individual. Well, I can find it anyhow. We go to the published workspace and clear. There's the entry that I wanted. Let me put that on the clipboard. I pick that up. Cancel. This is the report. Now we go back to the people workspace, and I've got the filter in. And I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to filter in all facts, data error report. I'm going to paste the text that I brought from the report, and all of those people have that data error report. But you know what? If I look at the profile and I see that the individual was married before 13, and if I look at the marriage date and the birth date, yes, there is a data error report. The problem is, the only way I'm going to resolve that is by finding a record, a different record that has maybe an updated birth date or an updated marriage date. You notice that there is no citations on these facts. Again, this is not my file, but I'm cleaning up this file so I can work with it. So I can't resolve that data error. So I'm going to walk away from it, but go to the plan workspace, because one of these errors, I am looking at each of these data error report, and I think most of them will take a record to fix the data error. Again, I do all of my work in the people workspace, the person view, so all of the information that I have about this person is right on this screen, including that there's a data error message that I need to resolve with a new record. I'm not going to try to clean that up, but I noticed that on my list of data errors, there's one that I probably can resolve. So I'm going to click on that first one and go to that profile. And there is a fact that does not have any information here. It has a citation, but it has no data in in the fact. There's no date, there's no place, and there's no description. Now, there is a record here. There is a citation for a record, but for some reason, when I got this file, the fact data was not entered. Now, I need to clean up this citation, but I don't want to get rid of this fact. So I am going to, in the description of this fact, and I believe that passenger list, if I go look at it, I will find the information for this fact. I'm not going to do that. My task today is dealing with the data error report. I fixed a couple easy ones to fix, but I need to go look at the record, but I'm not going to do that today. So I'm going to say get fact information. Now, there's two notes for me on this screen to help you understand why I do all of my data entry from this screen. Is that I've got the data error information here that I need to fix. I've got a couple things that I've not completed for this profile. I have just gotten out of that. Now, because I don't have information, I don't want this text on the ancestry member tree. So what I'm going to do is mark that fact as private. I can see it. I know that I've got to do something. I've got hints that I need to do stuff, like there's an event that contains no data. And in fact, I'm going to change the text of that to event departure. So there's no confusion on my part, contains no data. And if I look at the departure fact, it says get fact information. You can't see it. I can, and that's what I need to do. So what I have done in the two recordings today, and I see a couple more folks have joined me. Please leave a comment and let me know where you're viewing this recording from. If you care to, let me know if you're taking part in RootsTech 2022, which is ending today. And if you're a user of the Family Tree Maker program. And as you may know, that I have a blog. The blog is in the site, in the scroll bar below where I am. And in the description of this recording, you will also have a link to my blog post. So this is my to-do list for the data error report. I've got some work to do, but I got some work accomplished today. I'm going to minimize that and get rid of my text box, and that is office hours for RootsTech 2022, day 3. I hope if you were part of RootsTech 2022 that you had a great time, that you learned lots. Reminder that the recordings of the presentations are online. They're free. They'll be there for at least a year, from my understanding. Also, please keep in mind the Friends of the Family Tree Maker program. There's a note in the comments that we need to keep the folks that develop Family Tree Maker software, Makiev, and because they are part of the conflict that's taking place in the Ukraine. I have heard that they are safe, They have been relocated, but they are safe. But there's a little note if you want to read more about that is in the description of this recording. Again, please, if you would, let me know where you're watching from. And I would appreciate it if you have any questions. I will end the recording here in a second, but I'll take any questions if you have questions now. And I will be notified if you ask a question on the recording. Okay, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.